Today we're headed up for a short hike to Robbers Roost, sometimes called Hideout Cave. I'm camped here on Forest Service Road 525 just south of Sedona near Highway 89A. To reach Robbers Roost, you'll take Forest Service Road 525 from 89A until it forks in about 2.8 miles or 4.5 kilometers, where you'll bear left on 525C just across the cattle guard. Going to continue on 525C for 7 miles or 11.2 kilometers, where you'll see road 9530 on your right. If your GPS suggests taking you on any other roads than 525C to arrive at this point, ignore that. Once you arrive at road 9530, you have the option to either park and walk the rest as a 3 mile or 4.8 kilometer round trip hike with 460 feet of elevation gain, or you can drive the last mile of the road before beginning the trail as a 1 mile or 1.6 kilometer round trip hike. In total, you'll drive 9 or 10 miles or 16 kilometers from the highway depending on where you decide to park. The hike itself is fairly easy once you reach it. The road is not too bad. 525 and 525C are pretty good. 525C eventually does deteriorate a little bit. The final 1 mile leg on road 9530 is pretty rough. That's where a lot of people decide to stop. You'll see some vehicles parked at the intersection there, and then high clearance 4-wheel drive vehicles can make it on up there though. Here we are arriving at the final leg of the drive before starting the hike, road 9530 on your right. If you're not comfortable driving this rougher section, feel free to park here and hike on in. I did pause here a brief moment at the lower parking area to take a short walk down the first part of the trail there just to check it out a little bit. It's not in too bad of shape, but it is pretty rocky. If you're looking for this location on Google Maps, look up Hideout Cave is what it's under. If you happen to be looking on all trails, it's referred to as Robbers Roost. I'll link the trail information and GPS coordinates below. The very first section of this segment here was pretty rocky and uphill right away, but it kind of comes out and levels off and turns into a little more dirt and less bigger rocks. It is still rocky though. The final segment of the road gets pretty rough again as well. I wasn't so sure about myself for a minute, but we made it without any issues, so we're going to go ahead and hike it, and hope you enjoy it. So you reach maybe what looks kind of like a fork here, but you don't want to continue uphill. The trail can be a little difficult to follow here. I believe you're going to want to continue to work your way up though. Once it kind of levels out, you'll head around the east side to get to the cave area. As you come around on the east face here, approaching the cave area, there's kind of a narrow ledge here. Definitely wouldn't want to be crossing that in icy conditions. I don't think it's as bad as maybe the video makes it look here, but it is fairly slick, narrow, and kind of drops off at an angle. Well, here we are in Robbers Roost. Just for clarity, there's another Robbers Roost in southeastern Utah used by the Butch Cassidy gang. This is no relationship to that, it just happens to be called the same thing. If you're headed up to the cave to take pictures, depending on the time of day, the contrast can be very extreme. I wish I would have brought my flash with me for my camera so I could have lit up the interior of the cave a little bit, but I'll stick a heavily edited picture in here so you can kind of get an idea what it looks like. Well, that's pretty well going to wrap up the look at the hike to Robbers Roost. I'm going to start my journey back towards my camper here, see if I can vibrate any bolts loose. Yes, the camera bolt vibrated loose. Let's fix that real quick. Thanks for joining me on the ride today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button to let me know. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments section below. And be sure to subscribe and get notified about the latest adventure videos.